All right, here we go again. The Cardi B and Nicki Minaj saga continues. Now, ask yourself, why in 2025 is this going on? Almost 9 years ago, the beef continues. That's because someone is very insecure about what's happening to their position. Nikki seems what happened to her in the past 9 years. She's almost been erased from everything. And she blames Cardi B when she's responsible for everything that's happened to her, to be honest. And Nikki has used Cardi B to come back every single time she gets into some mess. Talking about Barney, this, I mean, it's gotten ridiculous. Every time Cardi B drops something, here she comes. Nikki has always been jealous of anybody who she felt was coming after her spot. She's the queen. But she started putting $4.99 talking about her album. Now, once again, Cardi B is not talking about her on the album, but yet she wants to use it to promote herself. Every time Cardi B drops something, here comes Nikki to try to follow it for promotion. Trying to say Cardi B looks like Barty, I guess. Then starts, calling her trans, big belly. I mean, like, it's just ridiculous. All to bait Cardi into talking about her. Because she knows Cardi's going to do it. I was just baking ribs and making blondie brownies. Cocaine Barbie's back at it again. Well, she talked about her being on perk, and then she talked about her brother that's locked up for SA charges with a minor. It's crazy. So, as she told her, like, why are you comparing yourself to me? Your peers are in the past. Like, she was like, I was in like high school when you was out doing your thing. Why are you out here trying to battle with us? And this has been the going thing with Cardi B and Nicki for the longest. These are two women who are on the same track of the road, except for her time on the track is over. Nicki's run is over. I'm like, Nicki, you're like in your 40s now. Okay. You're done. Your run is over. Just know that when your run is over, just admit when it's in its end. Cardi B was just getting to the red carpet events and you wanted to start it up with her. Yeah, well, they had a younger Nicki Minaj. That's what they were looking at. We have a younger, more calmer Nicki Minaj instead of the wild, barbaric temper tantrums that we get from Nicki. See, that's Nicki's problem. She plays victim too much. You were a tyrant to deal with. People were tired of you. You made people's lives miserable who had to work with you. When you were the queen and they had to put up with it, they'd be, shh, it's Nicki. So let it go down the way it's going down because, hey, it's Nicki. You can't have this thing go another way. It's Nicki. So let it go down that way. That's what everybody would say. Just be quiet. Let it play out. It's Nicki. You know, this just is vintage Nicki. But here's the problem with Nicki ran into. Your problem is that you ended up dealing with people who eventually went to higher positions. That's why the people at BET that worked there, a lot of them didn't like you. A lot of those production assistants and all, they've gotten promotions. And they will never forget the people that gave them hell. Now, when you made them go all the way down the street to go find you some chicken, I wasn't mad at you for that. Because first of all, they were just trying to get what they wanted you to have out of the situation instead of what you were supposed to get. I get it. But there was a bigger problem in the equation. And what was the biggest problem, you might say? It was simple. They said, you came in late, Nicki. So they got to rush you to makeup right away. Or you weren't going to go out there. So somebody had to rush to get Nicki some food. And she wanted some Popeyes. She wanted something that was down the street. So she was eating some Popeyes chicken. Mm-hmm. Well, start putting the two and two together. If these two ended up working together, it would be the most toxic thing in human existence. They don't need to work together. No. You see, they tried to come together and collaborate on a song on the motorsport. And when they thought the beef was over, they all squashed it. Rather, it just led to more drama. So it's just clear what she's doing now. Nicki knows she's not hot anymore. Mm-hmm. And she's using Cardi B as the gas. It never fails. Every time she takes this road or this route, She uses Cardi B's name to invoke herself. Then she had a Barbie teens. Oh, well, in Nicki's world, she don't like the fact she's being forgotten about. So she wants in and she wants to defend that Ice Spice thing that y'all people love so much, who's about as basic and as stiff as anything I've ever seen thrown up on a stage. And you want to talk about a plant? That's a plant that don't grow. Oh man, come on. When you start talking about the best female rappers of all time, would Cardi B be on that list? No. More successful, promoted, yes. And Nicki's like, they only promoting her because they don't like me. Well, think about that for a minute. What did you do to put yourself in the position where they don't like you no more? Rock Nation don't like you no more. Everything you've done put you in a position where they don't like you anymore. They want you gone. And that's why they don't want to deal with you. And you're in your 40s now, trying to figure it out, got to do shows and tours. Your opportunities have dried up and it's getting worse and worse. Nobody's getting paid on their record sales due to streaming numbers. So her putting it at $4.99 is saying we better get something than nothing, because the music is pretty much free nowadays anyway because of YouTube. And yeah, Nicki's always been jealous, envious. But when Cardi make her success without dealing with you, then all of a sudden it all changes up when it comes to everything else surrounding it. They never are going to see things your way. It's Cardi's time now. Your time was 20 years ago when you had Monster out. Yeah, Cardi in 2019 was out here promoting her albums and doing songs, and Nicki was out here like the Wicked Witch of the West, trying to fake a relationship with Nas. Like it was crazy. I was like, what is this? Nobody wanted to see Nas with Nicki Minaj. That just didn't make any sense. It was like, dude, you went from a toxic situation to a god damn, it's gonna be a toxic situation. Like everybody was, dog, this is wrong. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, she got the look at that A B C D E F G falling off the charts with a big belly, running trains, barefoot, still smelly. Still, you could not outsell me. And she was like A B C D E F G. Your man had to snatch pussy. Pussy tastes like honeycomb. Your brother been touching 12-year-olds. Oh my God. Godson got son on Son's Day, and it's on a Sunday. Birth a ninja who wanted to be a sensei. Retire someday. Only if my son say 32726. That's my fun day. Why you keep bringing up my album? It's not the gag that you think it is. You've been in the game like 16 years. You need to compare yourself to your peers and start it around your time. Like Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake. Those are the numbers you need to be comparing with. And you can't because you doing lower than all of them. I was in high school when you came out. What the fuck? You comparing yourself to me for? Oh my God. Cardi tearing her ass up. And that's exactly what she needs because y'all involving yourself and you want to be involved in this. Oh my God. This woman got him put out a diss track. Please. Another superficial plant. That this is hilarious. Must run in the Minajes. Yeah, this is what she wanted. She wanted all this Cardi attention. Cocaine bar. The power I have to make these bees come out of the rehab every time. Go back to your room. Nothing more annoying than a bored bee. True, true, true. Nothing more annoying than that. As you can see right here, I back it up. When Cardi dropped her debut album back in April of 2018, there was no, and I do mean no mention to Nicki Minaj on that album. They wanted to make sure they would not be mentioning her on the album. That's very important because they want to prove that Cardi B can make a hit album without mentioning that woman. Now, her strength is not going to come in the game just dissing on Nicki Minaj. So now, 4 days later, we get. It was actually quicker than that. It was actually quicker than that. We got Barbie teens and Chung Lee. Chung Lee drops the bins off. I dropped the bins off because I'm Chung Lee. And April 10th, it was officially out everywhere. The Chung Lee, she got her head up like she's Chung Lee from doggone Street Fighter. Then here comes Bongos in 2023. 8 minutes later, here comes Nicki Minaj. 8 minutes later with her crap on September the 4th, same day. Then here comes September 19th, 2025. 5 days later, here she comes. My album comes out 3/27/26. She makes the announcement, I guess, for her album. And she tries to bait Cardi B into another beef. So it is obvious what's happening here. Obvious. Somebody's washed up, their careers through because of what they did. They stopped focusing on the music. They started dealing with everything else. Start hi-hatting everybody, putting people down, acting crazy, throwing tantrums and fits. And now look what it's gotten you. All of that was for what? You're right back in the same predicament you were in back then. So it all makes no sense. I never understood why other people got things that other, like accolades, and why they give it to one artist when it should be given to the best artist in the game, the one that's putting it down. But that's neither here nor there. What it comes down to now, and we're starting to see that it's all about who they want to have the position or who they want to rap. And they obviously didn't want Nicki there anymore. And that was due to a lot of people, from makeup assistants to everybody not liking her attitude. So now she wants to change it and show that she's a nice person, actually, when she's really not. You saw her little podcast show she used to do, or her radio show. She's a bitch on there too. She's just naturally that way. They say a leopard don't change its spots. Well, that is essential for her because she's a leopard that hasn't changed her spots one bit. So anyway, thanks. I ain't gonna take all y'all time. Just wanted to show that and make some points and show that Nicki is back being Nicki, being sticky all the way through. And Cardi is not to blame for this. And Nicki is trying to latch herself on to other people to be relevant, in this day and age, as she's attached herself to an Ice Spice. Ice Spice. Oh my God. At least Cardi B is the only one that's her name, actually. It's part of her name. Ice Spice? Really? She's one of the Spice Girls now? She's Ice Spice? I don't even think she was born when Ice Spice was out. And Nicki Minaj. Jesus Christ. Oh, Nika. Without all this plastic that's been put on all these people, we wouldn't even be thinking about none of them. None of them. I mean, I don't even think about this kid, this Ice Spice kid. I don't even know why y'all do. But I'm just like, that's a plant if I've ever seen one. And I'm like, no stage performance at all. They just go out there and twerk. It's ridiculous. So anyway, that's that. uh, yeah, I don't even know how old this Ice Spice kid is at all. I don't even pay attention to it. But yeah, I'm out. So see y'all on the Patreon. It's finna be hot, and I gotta bounce. Deuces.